What up, peeps? Nick Battle, aka NinosCorner. Man, first off, you like this content that is coming to your way, go like, comment, and subscribe and share this channel. And also, folks, if you're listening to this on a streaming podcast platform, like, comment, subscribe, and share. But today, folks, we're going to talk about big game hunting that Texas is doing. Texas and the defensive line coach and Bo Davis went out and got 315-pound 6'3" defensive lineman DeAndre Robinson from Jones High School in Orlando, Florida. If I'm not mistaken, it's the same high school that Peyton Kirkland went to. Texas is shoring up that the defensive line here. They have to do that prior to going into the SEC in 2024, and Texas has done that. This is the third defensive line recruit that Texas has gotten in this 2024 cycle. The first person to actually join the class on that line was Alex January, followed by Melvin Hills the third, and now DeAndre Robinson. Big kid, folks, 6'3" and a half, around 315 pounds, with over 63 offers, folks. Think about that. This kid had over 60 offers. He's a consensus 4-star guy here. He is an amazing athlete, and we're going to break into his film and see exactly what he does. But folks, let's go ahead, let's share the screen, and let's just look at the player that he is. This episode is brought to you by Manscape.com. Go to Manscape.com, get yourselves 20% off and free worldwide shipping using the promo code NinosCorner. Manscaped is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. They just released their Lawnmower 4.0 fourth generation trimmer. Go to Manscaped.com, get yourselves 20% off and free worldwide shipping using the promo code NinosCorner. All right, folks, if you see here, DeAndre Robinson, class of 2024, 6'3" and a half. 315 pounds, from Jones High School out in Orlando, Florida. Like I said, he is a consensus 4-star. I know it says right there 89.07, 3-star from the On-Street industry ranking. However, that is the consensus ranking, but from that consensus ranking, we got 3 out of the 4 have him as a 4-star. So I'm a little confused why that one is it's a 3-star. We're going to call him a 4-star here. Like I said, folks, 60 plus offers for the service of Robinson. He is from Florida. So folks, it is hard to pull kids out of Florida if they are blue chip recruits coming out of Florida. Everybody in the SEC wanted him. You look at that, Florida wanted him, Georgia wanted him. Let's just go ahead and take a look at all the teams that actually offered him scholarships, and we'll just go through from there. But of course, Texas, we got him. Florida wanted him. Georgia offered him, Ohio State, Florida State, Miami, South Carolina, Georgia Tech and UCF, Vanderbilt, Colorado, Alabama, Michigan, USC, A&M, Tennessee, Penn State, LSU, Oklahoma. Folks, it is the who's who among schools here in the country. Arkansas and Auburn, Nebraska, Ole Miss and Mississippi State. You're talking about everybody in the SEC offered this kid. And Texas was able to go down to Florida and, no kidding, go and get one of their stud guys, So if you go take a look at that consensus ranking again, which I go back here, we'll take a look at that. Let's take a look at his consensus ranking here. Folks, we're going to see that, yes, he is, per the On3 rankings, he's the 32nd ranked player here in the state of Florida. Number 271st ranked player nationally. Rivals also has him as the number 34 player in the state of Florida, and the number 197 player nationally. 247 and ESPN, I think, are a bit behind. I tell you, when On3 and Rivals are kind of on the same page, it's a pretty fair evaluation there. Look here, folks. Outstanding recruit, outstanding prospect. Like I said, he is a consensus 4-star guy. No matter what the rankings say, 6'3" and a half, 315 pounds. You got to love it. Now let's go take a look at his huddle film here in just a second, folks, and let's see just the kind of player he is. His quickness, his hand placement, his footwork, all very good for a guy at the size of 315. Let's go and get over there. All right, folks, here we go. You see him across the defensive line. Look at his recognition. Gets there behind the line of scrimmage and makes a play. Folks, that is 6'4", 315 pounds moving that way. You see him lined up over the center there. Takes on a double team and still gets the quarterback. Athletic, physical guy. You can tell this is the kind of player that Bo Davis has been wanting here in this team. The only knock that I think that we've had here on Sark over his first 2 years going into his third season here, said he has recruited absolutely well everywhere on this team, or just quarterback, or just wide receiver, running back, offensive line, which is one thing that I thought we needed to get handled, and he addressed it immediately upon coming here to Texas. The defensive line recruiting has not been where I think most fans have wanted it to be until this year, the class of 2024. Texas has secured some big bodies here going into the SEC, and there's things that we need to do. He started last year with getting guys like Sadir Mitchell. He was our only, interior defensive lineman that we got last year, but now Texas is going and getting a bunch of them here in droves. Getting a guy like Alex January, getting a guy like DeAndre Robinson, also Melvin Hills, who's a very versatile player who can play inside and out. I tell you what, this is an outstanding pickup here for Texas, because we know in the SEC, going against those huge offensive lines that, they'll be seeing, the Bamas and the Arkansas, man, and the Georgias, you're going to need some big boys up there in the middle on that defensive line that can counter what those huge offensive lines are going to do, to be able to stop that run, force that quarterback to pass the ball, get some pressure on that quarterback, get in the backfield as soon as you can, often, very quick and very often, so that it gives your defensive backs and your linebackers an extra split second. That's all it takes, folks, is a split second to make a better decision than what they would have had to done off of initial instinct. I love this pickup. 6'4", 315-pound guy. Let's look at his film here, folks. I know I've been kind of talking through his film. I just kind of want you guys just to see exactly what his film looks like. But I tell you, man, he's one of those guys who's a run stuffer, and he's already big. He's physical. He has some good, quick feet. His hand placement's pretty good as well. His pad, level is also pretty good for, just a kid, a kid coming out of high school. Look, one thing that we know that he's gonna. One thing that we know that is going to happen here at Texas is he is going to get developed now. Just imagine this, folks. 4 or 5 years ago, the biggest knock on Texas was that we got all the talent and we cannot develop them, and that was one of the biggest knocks on us. We've seen over the last 2 years here at Texas underneath Sarkisian and his staff, PK on defense and Bo Davis as the defensive line coach and Jeff Choate at linebacker, we have seen a significant increase in the production out of our team as a whole, but especially on the defensive side of the ball. Able to take a guy like Jalen Ford, who was a consensus 3-star guy, to basically be, he should have been the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. A guy like Keandre Coburn last year, who in the previous season didn't have the best season, but last year came back and was developed to become the player that he was. He gets drafted, and now he is playing with the Kansas City Chiefs. Look at a guy like Javonte Sweat, who probably could have came out last year and got drafted, who's coming back, and we're expecting big things from him. And you're going to see a guy like Robinson kind of fit that same mold that we have in Sweat. So this team is getting developed. Barron being developed, at that star role as well, and Thompson at the safety. I'm telling you, man, this defensive staff has been developing players up and down that roster, and DeAndre Robinson is going to be one of the latest to get developed. Now, he is a kid coming out of the state of Florida, so Texas is going to have to continue to recruit him through the whistle, because, look, it is hard to pry kids away from their home state. He probably grew up loving Florida and, and wanting to play at a school in Florida, because that's what you grew up doing. But I guess he figured out where the grass is the greenest at, and that is at the University of Texas. But folks, you guys saw his film. I didn't really talk much about his film. I just put it on so that you guys could see. But I wanted just to let you guys know that Texas got a good one. We got a really good one. So let's go ahead and end this film and end this podcast. All right, folks. Texas just picked up the commitment from DeAndre Robinson, 6'3", 6'3.5", 315-pound interior defensive lineman from Orlando, Florida, class of 2024. Like we said before, Texas is securing those trenches on the defensive side of the ball, something that I thought Sark didn't do the best of job his first couple of years, but now he is honing in and focusing on that now for the class of 2024. And I think a lot of that has to do with kids are probably uncertain of when Texas was going into the SEC. Going into the SEC, playing against the best talent in the country, these kids want to play against the best talent. And so, look, able to pry a kid away from Florida, from the state of Florida, to come in to play at Texas and be an outstanding prospect coming in is something not to sneeze at here from this Texas staff. Texas going into the SEC in 2024 is definitely a big thing that is influencing a lot of the recruits to want to come to the brand of Texas, because when Texas is rocking, this brand is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, here in college football. The fan base is outstanding. The fan base is crazy and outstanding. And when the team wins, this place is rocking. Texas has to secure the commitment of more players like DeAndre Robinson at that interior defensive line position, up and down that line, to assure that we can hang with the big boys in those trenches. We secured the offensive line over the last two cycles, and now we're really fine tuning on that defensive line recruiting here. The only thing Texas has to do now is get more edges, and I think Texas is in a real good position to kind of reel some guys in here, hopefully over the summer time frame. But folks, man, let me know what you think about the recruitment and the commitment of DeAndre Robinson, the 6'3", 315-pound interior defensive lineman from Jones High School out of Orlando, Florida, class of 2024. Let me know what you guys think in those comments. Did Texas do a great job of getting some more interior depth from this 2024 class? But on that note, folks, man, I'm in this podcast like in all of them. Do you? Don't be afraid to fail. Outgrow your environment. Understand your brilliance. Horns always up. Hook 'em.